Lesson 9.4 Part 2, we're going to solve additional quadratic equations, and we're still going to use square roots, but they do look a tad bit more complicated than the other ones did. So here we have a binomial squared equals 5. So again, just like Mr. Wyatt taught you, you do want to have it set equal to the constant value. And then to unsquare this binomial, I certainly don't want to have to multiply it out just to have to factor it again. So all you do is you square root each side. So that gives me x minus 3 equals positive and negative whatever the square root of 5 is. And they're telling us in the directions to go ahead and round this to the nearest hundredth. So this is approximately 2.24. So now I have two equations I have to set up. I have x minus 3 equals 2.24 and x minus 3 equals negative 2.24. In both cases, I'll add the 3. So here, x will equal 5 and 24 hundredths, and here, x will equal 76 hundredths. And those are your two solutions. So this next one is a little bit different because before I can unsquare it, I have to divide by 6. So now I have x minus 4 squared equals 7. Take it through the same process, square root both sides. That releases the squaring and equals positive and negative square root of 7, which is 2.65. And now I'll solve this equation. I'm going to add 4 to both parts. So if I take positive 2.65 and add 4, I end up getting 6.65. And if I take negative 2.65 and I add 4, I get 1.35. And I'm fine if you want to do this all in one step. You just have to be careful. Am I using the positive or am I using the negative? Okay, number 20 is just like the original example. We're going to square root. So I get x plus 2 equals positive and negative. Square root of 10 is 3.16. I will subtract 2 from everything. So x will equal 1.16 when I take the positive, and x will equal negative 5.16 when I use the negative 3.16. Divide by 3 on this one. So x minus 4 squared equals 6. Square root it, and I get x minus 4 equals positive and negative 2.45. Add 4. So x will equal 2.45 plus 4 is 6.45. And negative 2.45 plus 4 is equal to 1.55. Alright, next. Use the given area A of the circle to find the radius or the diameter of the circle. Round the answer to the nearest hundredth if necessary. So I know that my area is pi r squared, and my area here is 38 pi. So I'm going to set that up. My area, 38 pi, equals pi r squared. And in this case, I'm solving for the radius, so I have to divide by pi. Pi divided by pi is 38 in this case. That's what it leaves me with. Equals r squared. And now I simply square root it. So the square root of 38, this is round to the nearest hundredth. This is about 6 and 16 hundredths. Technically it's positive and negative, but in reality you cannot have a negative radius, so here we have to just use the 6 and 16 hundredths. Alright, last one. During an ice hockey game, a remote-controlled blimp flies around the crowd and drops a numbered table tennis ball. The number on the ball corresponds to a prize. Use the information in the diagram to find the amount of time that the ball is in the air. So, we have height equals negative 16t squared. I don't see an initial vertical velocity, it just says it drops it. it's dropping it from a height of 45, so plus 45, but it's being caught, it looks like, at 17 feet because this person here is catching it. So instead of setting it equal to 40, or instead of setting it equal to h, I'm going to go back here and set it equal to 17. And now I need to solve this because it wants to know the time. So I'm solving this with the square root. I'm going to subtract the 45 from both sides. 17 minus 45 is negative 28. I'll divide by the negative 16. And I get 1 3/4 positive. And now I square root that. And that gives me approximately 1 32/100 seconds that it's going to be in the air before it's caught. Yes, technically it's positive and negative, but you cannot have a negative time. All right. Your assignment is to do part 2 of 9.4. And this is page 598 to 600. Problems 32 to 48 even. 54, 56, 58, and 62. This is due on Monday, and I want you to check it again at home and come in with your answers, or with questions.